Everybody, welcome to the Fantasy and Frames Draft Show. I'm Stacey Perez, and we have got Erica Brown here with us tonight. We have got Kev Tompkins here. And guys, NFL schedule has been released. It is out. Let's get ready to correlate. You guys ready to do it?
Be great and correlate. Let's go.
You guys like the new
Milan Lee theme?
Yes. Shout out to Jorge. Thank you, Jorge, for getting us all on there. Guys, week 17 is upon us. Well, I mean, not really, but we should all be memorizing week 17 because it's time to correlate now that we have a schedule, right, Kevin?
Yeah, I mean, I can only do what I can do here, but I did try my best and my darndest here to memorize week 17. I'm adding a new week to the memorization, week 16. A lot tougher when you've got, we're all degenerates here, but, asking me to remember stuff like I did in, high school, middle school. I'm a man. I'm almost 40. Good luck. I barely know what I ate for dinner last night, let alone matchups. Like, I know the Saints play the Packers. That's about all I got for week 16 for the most part.
You're working. It's a work in progress. I mean, it was just released yesterday. We have real
homework is due today. Damn it.
Oh, Steph Miller in the chat. She's already memorized it. Come on, week 7. Come on, Kevin. Steph, I would be disappointed if you hadn't memorized this already. Listen, not surprised. I know everybody's got their little cheat sheets out. So those of you who are putting those out on the internet, God bless you. You are doing the Lord's work. They're putting those out for all of us. Guys, we're going to be doing a Best Ball Mania tonight on Underdog. So if you want to draft with us, get in there now. Go on in there. Throw my screen up here on the board so you guys can see it, because I want you guys to be able to draft with us tonight. So, Kev, Eric, you guys plan on drafting? You don't have to, but if you want to, I won't hit enter just yet until you get ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah. I'm ready whenever. Yeah.
Excellent. All right, guys. So those of you out there in the internet and the interwebs, those of you listening to the sound of my voice, you want to draft with us, get on in there right now. We are going to be hitting that green enter button right now. Yes. We want to get in there. All right. Is this already full? Wow, that took like 0 time, guys. Already full. Good job. Let's see who we got in here tonight with us. Nice.
It was already like 9 of 12, so it might be literally the 3 of us and oh no, Steph got in too.
Yeah, Steph got in there. All right, Steph got in there. Yeah, I did one right before the show started, and it took a minute to fill. I don't know if everybody was like too busy watching Bridgerton, to jump in or not earlier as soon as they got home from work. I know that it took every bit of discipline in me not to start watching it, or else we wouldn't be here tonight. Erica, you did manage to squeeze in a couple episodes, didn't you?
I did. I watched one single episode. Otherwise, I would have been there all night.
Dude, you have amazing self-control, because I wouldn't have been able to do it. Not at all. Kevin either. Kevin loves Bridgerton. I don't know if you guys knew this is his absolute favorite show. He lives for Bridgerton.
Yeah, I will never quote squeeze in an episode, unquote. But look, there's good people on both sides of the Bridgerton aisle here. So more power to you, ladies. I finished Fallout not too long ago, so that's about all I can handle for right now until House of the Dragon comes out.
There you go. I've heard Fallout's really good. It keeps popping up on
excellent
watch. Steph, you didn't know Bridgerton, because Steph didn't. Of course, she didn't know Bridgerton was out because she's too busy memorizing week 17. Steph, you are in the draft here. You are number 11. Kev, you're picking at 10.
That'll be fun.
You're 3, and I'm at 2. All right. Kevin, why don't you tell the good people here, because those of you who are not quite at degenerate level and don't know what we're talking about, like week 17 correlation, let's explain that right off the bat for those who maybe don't know just yet. Kev, what is correlation? Why do people need to know about this?
Yeah, as far as correlation goes, it's basically trying to optimize for the playoffs in Best Ball Mania or any of the other stuff like puppies, chihuahuas, et cetera, et cetera. So basically, what it turns into is if you're optimized for the playoffs, if you have some correlation, so like say you have Titans Jaguars and you have like Calvin Ridley, Travis Etienne, guys like that. I think I'm on the clock, so let me just.
Oh, sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. I will take my tried and true Puka Nakua. So yeah, so basically trying to optimize for that. As the great Davis Maddock would say, we're all gonna fucking lose anyway, so we might as well just shoot for the moon and correlate as much as we can. Basically, if you're in the playoffs week 15, 16, 17, you're trying to optimize, and it basically turns into a DFS contest where you're just hoping you have some sort of correlation that's unique enough that can get you into the into the promised land, get you some money. So, like everybody last year, at the 1-2 turn, a lot of CD Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown. That got a lot of people in the finals because they both went off. So kind of thinking like that, maybe being very, I'm not taking Saquon or Jonathan Taylor here. Sorry. Brandon Ayuk, it will be.
There you go.
But yeah, so it's just one big optimization practice.
Yeah. Erica, does that help explain correlation? Does that somewhat make sense?
It does. I'm a pretty new person to best ball in general. Last year was my first time playing. So, and this is my first time playing like any type of money leagues in best ball. So it does help.
Well, welcome. Get down in here in the I don't know, what would you call it, Kev? In the craziness with us, with all of us
into the streets.
In the streets. Kev, Eric and I are about to draft. So what are some of your, or do you have any so far, like favorite matchups that you're looking at? Are there any that have really piqued your interest so far?
I mean, there's like the ones that are going to be a lot cheaper to play. Like for me, it's like Colts Giants, even like Falcons Commanders, because Commanders you could get super late too, and then you could tack on late pieces for the Falcons as well. Cowboys Eagles will be good, but it's very expensive. Chargers Patriots is another good one that you can tack on a lot of guys late. All those wide receivers from the Patriots, Ramondre Stevenson's a pretty decent value. All of the Chargers wide receivers like Josh Palmer, Justin Herbert goes late as a quarterback. So there's a lot of pretty worthwhile correlation that you can make for week 17, I should say. That doesn't break the bank. That you can definitely get an edge on when everybody else is trying to draft the best player available, or maybe they're optimizing for a lot of the marquee matchups. Like everybody loved Bengals Chiefs last year.
Yeah.
And I feel like Cowboys Eagles is going to be that, even though all the most expensive pieces go in the first 3 rounds. So,
yeah, they sure do. I mean, that's kind of what I was looking at, right? Because I've got CeeDee Lamb, and now I'm like, oh, I guess I take Stephon Diggs here, and now I'm looking at like 2 of the most expensive stacks to deal with Ravens Texans and Cowboys Eagles. And I'm on the clock again. What are we to do here? Well, I only have 30 seconds to pick, so I better figure it out. Let's see. Oh, I don't want to do this. It's not gonna match, but I can't help myself. I'm gonna take Laporta. That doesn't go with anything that I'm trying to do. That's what happened to me. Like, so I tried to jump on and do one of these before the draft just to kind of see what people were doing. And I got to tell you guys, it was a hot mess. Like I started off in the 7. I was like, maybe I'll do some Bills Jets, and that didn't go anywhere. I ended up doing some Lions 49ers and some Packers Vikings. But holy cow, like I just felt like it felt like a struggle, honestly. Because I haven't gotten these like committed to memory yet. And
right.
It's still so new.
And I will say with correlation, for me at least, it matters a lot less in the top part of the draft, where I would say it exponentially gets more important the deeper you get. Once you get in the back half of the draft, I think a lot of your thinking should be towards correlation, where the first 7, 8 rounds or so, I'm not thinking about it as much. I mean, if you can get it and you can not have to, ADP is a construct anyway, but if you don't have to break the bank to do it, I'll do it. But I'm not like overly obsessed about making sure I have, 49er if I have a Lion or if I have I'm not super worried about that in the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, I'm taking Laporta there as my Lion, but I mean, Debo's gone, Ayuk's gone, McCaffrey's gone. Like, at that point, Amon-Ra St. Brown. So that's hard to do. I kind of put myself in a little bit of a tough situation there.
Right.
But you're on the clock. Erica, how are you feeling about your team? So we're in round 3. You've got Hill, Kyren Williams, and Michael Pittman Jr.
I'm honestly not sure because like I said, I'm still learning about all of this.
Yeah.
So it's a mess.
That's how I felt earlier. I was like, this is a hot mess. What's up, Rach? We see you, Charlene, Kimberly, Steph. We see all you guys over in the chat. Thanks for hanging out. Always love to see everybody over there. Guys, remember, if you were in the chat, if you're having a good time with us tonight, if you like all the drafts that we're doing, please make sure to go hit that subscribe button so you get notified of every time that we are out here doing drafts. You can join in if you want to join us or just come in the chat and heckle us. That is always welcome as well.
Heckle away. I mean, trust
please.
me. I probably won't track the running back until like round 11. There's just such easy fodder to just come heckle me, come heckle the ladies about Bridgerton. I mean, look, it's endless.
Yeah, we can get some Bridgerton chat in here as well if there's any fans. I don't know how we can like correlate that to fantasy football, but I bet we could probably figure out a way to do it.
That seems more like a thread than on the live stream.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Steph, don't snipe me, please.
Oh, Tank Dell.
She did it too.
Yeah, she did.
I can't get Tank Dell no matter where I am.
Are you kidding? All I do is take Tank Dell. I literally just took him one in the biscuit bowl. And I'm pretty sure I took him earlier.
I can't get him. I don't know why. I get enough Nico Collins, whenever I want him. I don't usually get Nico Collins, but Tank Dell would be the one I get, and because he's the cheapest out of the 3 receivers there, and I never get him.
Do you have a preference between Collins and Diggs?
Whoever's cheaper, if either there, I don't really care. I mean, as far as the 3, I'm prioritizing Dell over the 3 just because look, the dude is super efficient. Clearly CJ Stroud has eyes for him, tied to a elite quarterback and an elite offense that's absolutely going for it. I want the cheapest elite piece that I can get, and Tank Dell is it, and I'm not super worried about any of the injury concerns. Who says Tank Dell can't be the top receiver in that thing just because Diggs and Nico Collins are going ahead of him? I mean, Nico Collins never really produced. I know they had Davis Mills and pretty bad quarterbacks that are in a pretty bad environment, but Nico Collins never really boosted up any of the profile of that offense while he was there. So it took CJ Stroud to do that. I'm a little bit more confident in Tank Dell's talent and situation there versus Nico Collins. I think they should, if Tank Dell weren't hurt at the end of last year, we'd be looking at 1-2 turn Tank Dell.
Listen, I'm a Tank Dell. I'm a huge Tank Dell fan. So I have no issue with that whatsoever. And I just keep thinking, I mean, like he and CJ Stroud have such a good connection. I mean, those guys are, besties. So
Stroud's the one that wanted him there.
Yeah,
he advocated for Tank Dell.
That's because they hooked up at the combine. They got together when CJ was throwing him at the combine, and they got to be buddies, exchange numbers. If you guys don't know the story, and when CJ got drafted, he went and told the Texans, "Hey, I want this guy. Put him on my team." Let's see. What are we gonna do here? It's a smidge early. Well, not for this one. Okay. See, I'm already just completely all over the place now.
McLaurin's fine. I think this is a great price for McLaurin with Jaden Daniels there now.
Yes.
So I mean, we've had to kind of worry about Sam Howell and Taylor Heineke and all this other stuff with Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin's always been solid, but now that he has a quarterback that can maybe throw him the deep ball,
I
mean, I'm totally fine with Terry, especially when you can get him in the 5th round.
Did you see that Sam Hartman? I don't know. Was this a joke? Did Sam Hartman really sign with the Commanders today, or was I looking at like one of those like joke like accounts that's not like it gives out fake news? Did you guys see that at all?
I mean, on his Wikipedia page, he says he signed with the Commander, so
Okay, well, if it's on the Wikipedia page,
it's got to be true.
accurate.
I mean,
Yeah.
not like anybody can go in there, but I do trust him more than most.
No, we did learn that during our draft live stream. We kept checking out everybody's Wikipedia page, and like literally the minute they were drafted, it was automatically like updated. Somebody had gone in and put, like whatever team that person was going to. It was a good time. Kevin, Erica, seriously, can you guys stop taking my quarterbacks? Lamar and CJ Stroud there, just rude.
I wanted to get Stroud there. I haven't gotten Stroud at all, so I'll take it. I'm not the biggest fan of the price, but I've got Zay Flowers already. I'll find a Texan.
I mean, if you're not going to take a running back until like the 11th round, I guess you can go ahead and take one of the stud quarterbacks.
Well, I mean, I thank you for the permission.
You're welcome. Eric, I like where you got Jaden Reed there because I was looking at him also to like go with my Josh Jacobs. So I like what you did there with Jaden Reed.
I was looking at him or Terry McLaurin. So
well, we
took Terry.
Scary Terry. All right.
Yeah, definitely like that pick. I thought about I'm looking at the board. I thought about Kittle there. I've been thinking more about doing the bully tight end a little bit more lately. That would have been nice. I would have had Ayuk and Kittle. I'm back up here. I don't know if I have the stomach for Ladd McConkey right now. I think he's getting steamed up a little too high. And then there's no one else I really like, so I'm just going to take Cal Ridley.
Ladd McConkey is getting steamed up really high. I'm curious to see where he gets drafted come August, and we've just spent nothing but the entire summer just blowing him up the draft boards. Very, very curious about that.
Well, it's funny too how on this very show last week, how I said people were getting horny for Ladd McConkey, and now in that time from last week to this week, he's already up like a full round.
Yeah. I mean, he's going. I mean, he should go right in this round at some point. This is where I've been seeing him go. Oh, there you go. Yeah, in the 6th round.
And yes, Stephanie, I did take Stroud on purpose. That was a conscious decision I made to add CJ Stroud onto my team.
I love it. I love it. All right.
Okay, so for those of us new to best ball drafts like this, how important are stacks?
Ooh.
I mean, I would say stacking is pretty important too. I mean, that kind of goes hand in hand with the correlation too, because you figure, if one guy is coming along for the ride, just say Tank Dell scores a touchdown, CJ Stroud's coming along for the ride. If the Texans are putting up 40 points, against Baltimore, if that game's a shootout, you're loving life because you got to figure Lamar's coming too. Could be Zay Flowers, that it's going to benefit everybody in that offense. So, that's the kind of the nut case with stacking as far as like these contests go, where you're just hoping for just ping pong, pinball scoring from these teams. And then you can also do it where 2 years ago, Jamar Chase had a dud week 16, but had a great week 17. If you had T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, Higgins benefited you in week 16. Jamar Chase benefited you in week 17. So you can kind of do it that way too, where you're not always getting the 35, 40 point weeks from both guys. But if you can kind of alternate those with your stack and then still have Burrow to be able to capitalize on it both weeks, then you're in a great situation.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have any of these matchups that you're absolutely staying away from? Because for me, Chiefs Steelers sounds horrific. And it just like whenever I saw that as a week 17 matchup, it completely confirmed for me that whoever does the NFL schedule hates fantasy football 100%.
I mean, it depends on what angle you take it from. Because if you hate Chiefs Steelers, me personally, if I'm drafting Isaiah Pacheco, I love that. Like, I feel like the Chiefs could just get out and get ahead, and there's virtually no competition there for Pacheco anyway. So there's always kind of the silver lining to the matchups where these offenses, they're going to score point. You're not going to get that 3-0 Vikings Raiders game that we had last year. More often than not, you're not going to get that. But there's kind of angles to play off of any game. I mean, Bengals Broncos, you can kind of play that off too, as maybe Bo Nix comes up, late in the season. What do I want to do here?
I feel like Titans Jaguars screams like a 9-7 like game. That just feels right. That feels like that would be something that happened week 17, just to make us all just absolutely just infuriated.
I'm playing the hits again with Rashid Rice. I don't know why. I just
You're not
can't
afraid.
Stop, won't stop. as someone said.
Can't stop, won't stop. I don't mind Rashid Rice, especially there where you're getting him. Let him fall. Let him fall as far as he wants to go. Because I think by the time that you may need him, after you've drafted everybody else, he'll probably be back from his suspension at that point.
Right.
He's probably going to be back earlier than everyone thinks anyway, because the NFL doesn't believe in suspensions for this.
Doesn't care. He didn't beat up his wife and he didn't gamble, so.
And it's not on video.
Yeah, exactly. It's not on video. 100%.
All right. Well, I don't want to say what Steph did totally worked, but.
Ooh, Samir White and Jaylen Warren? I like it. I like that. Raiders are playing the Saints. Let's see. That's a dome game. Do you guys put any stock with like dome games towards the end of the season when it's cold and rainy and gross outside?
I mean, I'm trying to look at like the week, like look at the week 17, like the Bills Jets is not, that could be disgusting. I mean, we're not weathermen or women. It is 2024. But
depends on who you ask, Kev.
That is true. But like the Northeast teams, the Patriots, the Bengals, the Eagles, all are at home in week 17. I mean, obviously Vikings play in the dome. The Browns, I mean, remember a couple years ago we had that Saints-Browns game that was just miserable. 60-mile-an-hour winds, and it was like 0 degrees.
Terrible.
Yep.
So there's 4 dome games. So there's, let's see. We have got Ravens Texans is a dome game, which is just absolutely delicious. Raiders Saints. Then we have got down here, we've got Packers Vikings, love that. And then Cardinals Rams is a dome adjacent.
That's good enough.
A dome? Okay.
That's like one of those. We'll ask the judges. Yeah, we'll accept it. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
All right.
On the turn, going into round 9.
This draft is flying.
It really is going really quickly.
Josh Jacobs, Aaron Jones. I'm looking at your team, Stacy.
Okay, I got to scroll up just a tiny bit for the viewers, so that people can see.
I do dig it. It's the running backs. I mean, even Jacobs and Aaron Jones, I don't mind. I mean, obviously they're correlated too, but
yeah, I did that on purpose. I don't normally, I'm not quite as zero RB as you are, but I do enjoy waiting for a while. So,
and that's the thing about with zero RB is that a lot of people, they want to try it and then they can't stand being uncomfortable for too long. They will look into they'll be like the 6th round and have cold sweats and find the top running back in the queue and star him and then take a deep breath and be like, all right, we're good. We got one. And then, I like the uncomfortable. I like being able to kind of piece it together late. But but I get it. It's not for everybody.
It's not. I mean, you only have to start 2, right? You've got to start 2 running backs. That's it. If you have more, great. Maybe one goes in your flex, but in something like this where it's a 3 receiver plus a flex, so you're possibly starting 4, most likely starting 4. And those guys are going to get drafted really quickly. Like the value at wide receiver is going to go fast. So, you know, I don't know if I only have to start two. I only have to start two. It's going to be the least amount of players I'm taking at a position.
Yeah. I mean, if you're drafting a lot of wide receivers, the story you're telling basically is, okay, well, there will be a wide receiver in my flex every week.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's why when you're taking like maybe you're taking quality and taking 7 good receivers, then you can stock up and take as many lottery tickets at running back as
Right.
you can.
Well, and I think, people just have to keep in mind too, running back is such a volatile position with, injuries, right? I mean, like there's so many guys that get hurt every single year. So many guys that are getting called up on the depth chart that, we probably even haven't heard of half the guys that are going to be starting at, or at least getting playing time, at running back this year. Like those guys probably aren't even, we'd have to scroll really far down to even find them.
This year, it's let's see. Let me scroll down and just find it's Keyshawn Vaughn season in New England. Let's go.
I didn't even know he was in New England. Did you know he was in New England?
Nope.
No
Barely.
idea. Yeah. No clue.
There was so much running back turnover this offseason. Everyone is everywhere else.
Yeah, it was like musical chairs.
Where anyone is anymore.
There's like musical chairs out there.
All right, what am I going to do here? I don't know what I want to do. I'm actually like,
Oh my goodness. Nate Markham coming in from Mexico. Nate's committed to hanging out with us tonight.
What's up, Nate? From Facebook.
Yeah, coming in from Facebook. Hope you guys are having a great vacation, and we need more Nate around. So Nate, when you get back, please feel free to drop in on the draft show. We haven't seen you in a while.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Erica, I was going to ask you, how do you like drafting, or because you're in the 3 spot, so like, how do you like drafting in those, those top 3 positions? Are you liking your build, or do you absolutely hate drafting that early?
I like drafting early. I even last year my Scott Fishbowl position was 4, so I prefer the early. Sorry, I'm on the clock.
Oh yeah, you're on the clock. My bad.
About to be.
When I thought of that,
I get distracted
further back, and then everybody like didn't take the full 30 seconds on their
right.
clock,
Everyone's quick. I do prefer the early spots, though. I tend to pick early.
Yeah. I somehow this is very rare for me to get up in the 2nd spot. Like normally I am like all the way at the back, or like, 8, 9, 10, something like that. So this is a little weird for me. Like all these players that are normally not available when I'm, doing my drafts are here.
Get that.
How do I pull the trigger on one, or do I wait for somebody else to come along?
You're basically at the turn, so
that's true. And I'm
yeah.
all right. I'm gonna do that to go along with to make Sam Laporta make a little sense in our world that we're talking about tonight.
I almost took him with that Mike Williams pick. I almost took him and just said I'm done at quarterback, but I was going to push it and see what I could get in like the next kind of tier of quarterback.
There's a lot of really good quarterbacks left over. Oh gosh, I'm on the clock again.
It comes around quick.
It really does. It really does. 19 seconds. Oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm about to get just... Ooh, that might be fun. A little early. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. I have 4 seconds left.
That was who I pushed. I was going to see if I could possibly push. It's not a big deal if I didn't get him, Dalton Schultz, because I'm not a big fan of him anyway, but...
Same.
Yeah.
And I just took him, but...
Yeah. That's one guy that's kind of in that Cole Kmet zone where
Yes.
you've got 3 wide receivers now plus a running back that can catch passes and at best the fourth target in that offense. At worst you're like fifth.
Exactly. Yeah, I was really high on Dalton Schultz last year, but I think now that they've got the 3 receivers there, I think he's really the one who's going to not benefit anymore. At that point.
The best you're hoping for is like, you better hope he's Robert Tonyan, where he's scoring 7, 8, 9, 10 touchdowns. And that's more of a kind of a redraft kind of thing. I mean, obviously the touchdowns play in best ball too, but it's going to be very hard to get the target volume when you've got 3 guys as good as that.
So speaking of Robert Tonyan, so he signed with the Vikings today. Did you guys see that?
I did not actually.
He did. So started with the Packers, then went to the Bears, and now he's with the Vikings. So he's just like making his like tour of the NFC North.
He might as well. I mean, hey, when you can carve out an undrafted as an undrafted free agent, latch on with a team, and then carve out a 6, 7, 8, 9 year career. I actually want a Gabe Davis. Come on.
No one has said that in a very long time.
I haven't said that in 2 years when I drove the train.
You're driving the Gabe Dave train?
I mean, I attempted 2 years ago.
The conductor.
An attempt was made. All right. Well, since I waited on running back long enough.
Ooh, rolling the dice there with Nick Chubb.
I'll take. I mean, there's plenty of angles, and he kind of fell. I mean, what 22 picks after ADP? Like,
yeah, and he's in round 11.
Yeah, that's not a bad value. I don't mind. There. Sorry, Steph.
Stephanie said you're stealing all of her stacks. And I missed this jump in here from Nate saying that Facebook is the Twitter of Mexico. Nate, I don't know what that means, but I feel like you should quote that somewhere.
Maybe that's an inside joke in Mexico. I don't know.
It must be.
Wow. Thanks for letting us in, Nate. Appreciate it, buddy.
It's almost like we're there. Almost.
Interesting. All right. All right. Let's see if Steph's nice to me here.
All right. Yep. Going into round 12. Man, this is flying by tonight.
All right. At least she was kind of nice to me.
Yeah, Cole Kmet. There you go. Patty Fries.
Now I'm done at tight end. Don't have to worry about that. And I'm correlated.
Kevin, how do you feel about Pat Freiermuth and the other tight ends in Pittsburgh now that Arthur Smith is there? And we know that he likes to mess around with rando tight ends.
I mean, yeah, he does left. I mean, Connor Hayward is just gearing up for a 7 touchdown season this year. But yeah,
I was going to say Darnell Washington.
Him too, because he's the Jonnu archetype, where the dude can probably block, but he's more athletic than his frame gives. So, yeah, I mean, but Connor Hayward could be the Michael Pruitt. I mean, I guess if that's how deep we're going to get into these weeds, then we can certainly do it. But I mean, I'm fine with Freiermuth. I mean, you're just hoping that this offense is maybe a little bit better than people are. With Russell Wilson, hopefully he can be better than Kenny Pickett. I know it's a totally low bar, but yeah, I'm just not a big fan of the Steelers outside of the running backs this year, especially for fantasy. Like, even I'm much lower than the market on Pickens. I just have no motivation to even draft any of those guys at ADP.
Erica, seriously, you've got to stop sniping me. Like, this is out of control now at this point. Come on home, Tyler Algier. That's okay, because actually that made me take Tyler Algier, which goes better with my Terry McLaurin than Rico would have. So
I mean,
That
he's
works.
RB1 in the 12th round. So
Yeah, that's wild. Everybody's just sleeping on, and I think is Zeke gone already? Yeah, Zeke already went. I can't believe people are taking Zeke over Rico Dowdle. That's wild. That is absolutely wild to me.
I mean, Stacy, you should have known. Erica is this stream's preeminent Rico Dowdle truther. So
I think I took him in the last draft too.
I'm pretty sure you did too. I mean, Stacy, come on, that's skill issue.
I've taken my fair share of Rico Dowdle. I've taken him in several spots. And what was so crazy was that, like, even last year, I had no idea who Rico Dowdle was. Like, no clue at all. I ended up grabbing him on waivers in some redraft leagues. And, like, towards the end of the year, like, I was throwing him in my starting lineup, like, several weeks in a row. If that tells you what happens when you draft 0 RB, right, Kev?
Exactly. Yeah, you get used to some crazy names that you end up drafting a lot of. Like Rico Dowdle was like the absolutely perfect guy to pick up a dynasty that nobody was like in on. You just pick him up everywhere for like $1 and stash him at the end of the roster. Like the last 3 years, like Chigakonkwo was like the same kind of thing. That was a guy you picked up 2 years ago, and we're just hoping that he would be something, and now he's just starting tight end. You're getting positive value on that. King Hags, don't do this to me. Don't do it. Don't do it. You got 5 running backs. Good. You didn't do it to me. I get a share with Jalen Wright.
There you go.
That dude hasn't caught a pass since the Carter administration, but as a one-cut runner on the Dolphins, we'll take it, because those kind of runners that don't catch passes, there's like 2 situations that you want them in: the San Francisco 49ers and the Miami Dolphins.
Did you guys see the Dolphins schedule release?
I did not. I did. The only one I pay attention to is the Chargers, because I believe they did the Sims.
Yeah.
They always do the best one. Always.
They do, without fail. Like, I don't know what they're paying that team, but it's not enough at all.
It was great.
Yeah. I mean, did you guys ever play The Sims, like, back in the day? Were you guys Sims people? No, Kevin, come on. No Bridgerton, no Sims. Like, I don't understand what's happening here.
I'm a child of Halo. I'm sorry.
Erica knows what's up though. You played Sims? I was a little Sims fanatic. Yeah.
Yes.
That to me was so funny. I had to watch it like a few times to really catch all the little like Easter eggs in it. It was so great.
It was so creative.
Yeah. They were so good. And didn't they do like the anime one last year? That's what they did, I think.
Yes, that was the one they did.
Yeah. I liked the Titans did a good job getting the girl that was on their thing last year to come back and ask everybody down Broadway.
Last year's was better though.
It was. I agree. Last year's was a lot funnier. I thought that about pretty much all. Like, I thought there were a few like really creative ones last year, and this year, other than like the Chargers, I was pretty disappointed with most of them.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Chargers have crushed it like the last like 3 years. There's a very high bar to set. So teams just need to get better. They need to, as they would say in Halo, get good.
Just need to get good.
All right.
Like
I did take Jalen Polk, but I did not like him that well coming out. Like when I watched him get drafted and I saw like the little video, because I'm not a noted like dynasty rookie prospect guy. He kind of looked like he was running with a full diaper, so I didn't like the look of that. But hopefully I'm going to go against my 2-second scouting and take him anyway.
Oh my gosh. I was going to ask you do you prefer him to Javon Baker, or do you not care?
I don't care. I do like Javon Baker for the vibes.
I do too.
He's a definite like late round vibes guy.
Agreed. Anybody who like, it's like the Amon-Ra St. Brown thing, like, you know, coming out and just like keeping track of everybody that was drafted before you. I love it. I love guys with a chip on their shoulder.
Yep.
Love that.
Yeah. One of these drafts, I'm just gonna have to do just a full vibes draft, I think.
I feel like that ends up being me all the time.
I was going to say that because I've been so busy. I have done zero research this off season. It's all vibes right now.
All vibes. I just realized I only have 3 running backs. That is a problem, guys. Holy guacamole, Batman. We gotta figure this out.
Yeah. Just the vibes based, 100% anecdotal. We're just flying by the seat of our pants.
Yeah.
So as someone new to best ball, I have a question about builds.
Let's hear it.
So I kind of punted tight end. So whenever you don't draft one of those bully tight ends, do you tend to draft more?
Yeah, I mean, I do. If I know, like, I took the Laporta. I actually have 3 here, which is I shouldn't, like, I'm gonna tell you now, like, do what I say, not what I do. But yeah, I mean, usually, like, if I'm gonna go one of the studs at first, like, it's kind of like anything. If you're gonna take one of the stud quarterbacks, stud running backs, like, you probably don't need to like go fill in, your roster with several other people. I just kind of took that for a little bit of the build for me with Ben Sinnott there as my 3rd tight end. But especially that position, I mean, like those guys, there's a handful of them. I think there was, I heard the stat the other day. There's like only like 10 or 11 guys that scored over 10 PPR points per game last year. What's up, Gator? We see you in the chat. Gator, I think Gator and I might have talked about this on Tuesday, is where I'm thinking about it. So there was only like a handful of those tight ends that scored over 10 points, right? So after that, really you're looking at like you're probably expecting anything below that, like from a flex position.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody that you can get a little bit later, and there's somebody that you're not really super concerned about. So yeah, I mean, if I get a stud one, then I'm going to wait. But if I've waited, why not throw some darts, at some guys that maybe have some good upside, good, chances to get on the field, maybe a little bit, maybe kind of match up your quarterbacks that tend to throw to their tight ends a lot. Maybe go after, like a, guy who's matched up with a rookie quarterback. So, rookie quarterbacks love their tight ends. Zach Ertz is one for me that I'm kind of targeting a little bit later. And look, I get it. He's old and it's the Commanders, not a great offense, but you got a rookie quarterback there. And you got somebody who's an experienced tight end. And even though I did take Ben Sinnott and I'm pretty high on him, I think he and Zach Ertz do a little bit different, things. But he's definitely one that I'm going after in the later rounds if I've waited.
Yeah, like if you take an elite tight end, I mean, by and large, you should kind of keep it at 2. I mean, I took Kelsey and Freiermuth, and I'm totally like fine with that as my 2 tight ends. But if obviously be flexible. If one falls down the boards and you can't help but just take him, I mean, what's the worst? He goes in your flex. If he scores a touchdown, like that's not a bad problem to have. And I know tight ends are very important. I had 9 seconds.
I mean, I didn't love my Dalton Schultz pick there. And like I said, I'm a little concerned about him being kind of like the odd one out in that Texans offense this year. So I wasn't, I was like, well, I'm not really super excited about him. So I'll go ahead and grab a 3rd here and not be too upset about it. But normally I am a 2 tight end girl, but every once in a while it makes sense to kind of switch things up a little bit.
I have noticed with like just talking about like late round running backs, and obviously I'm diving into this dumpster on a regular basis with 0RB.
Yes.
But it kind of falls off a little bit sooner than it has in the last couple of years. Like Dameon Pierce, I feel like is a guy that probably shouldn't be around in the 16th round just because, it's Joe Mixon, but there's literally nobody else behind him. And maybe with an improved efficiency and improved offense, Dameon Pierce can, if Joe Mixon gets hurt, I mean, is it going to be, what's that Jamar Taylor or Gerard Taylor or something like that? Devin Singletary's gone. All those other running backs are gone. It's literally Mixon. It's one of the most clear-cut depth charts you'll find at running back is Mixon, Pierce. Who cares about the rest?
Here's a diving into this dumpster. We need a video.
If you see that video, it's AI. I have been compromised. I'm not diving into the dumpster.
Oh my goodness. I guess I have to take another running back here. Kev, do I have to? Or are they going to make me take another running back here?
How many do you have? You have 4?
4.
You don't have. You could probably done a 5, honestly.
I could
with Jacobs, Jones, Algier, and Hubbard, 5th, and you're good.
Let's go with Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah, that was the decision I made between Pierce and Elijah Mitchell. I had Mitchell before, so
yeah. I mean, CMC goes down. He's your guy. Other than that, he's probably worthless. So we're going into round 17 here. Oh, Demario Douglas. Erica, I was literally like, do I take Pop Douglas here? Do I keep doing it? I could pull up my exposure though, and it would probably tell me not to because I've got so much of him already. But
he's still there. Just who the fuck? Yeah, I mean.
Oh man, guys, we're at like 45 minutes here, and we are wrapping this draft here. We're in the 17th round, taking our little dart throws here. I can't believe Demario Douglas is in the 17th round, and I also cannot believe that he's going behind Polk and almost going in the same round as Javon Baker. I can't even believe this.
Yeah, that's making me definitely question my pick of Polk 4 rounds later. Like that's. If I can get Javon Baker there, like I almost have no reason to draft Jalen Polk, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. Just utter disrespect.
I guess this is going to be my last receiver. Vibes based or correlation based?
Vibes. You got to go with vibes. In the 17th round, vibes.
I guess it's Tyler Boyd.
There you go. Did I get another? Gator wants to know if I got another Marvin Mims share. No, I did not. Has Marvin even been? Yes. He went in the 15th round. So no Marvin Mims. He didn't go with my build tonight, Gator. Stephanie says you took all the New England guys for her stack.
Is she running naked Drake May right now?
Wait, say that again.
Is she running naked Drake May? She is. Right now, she's sitting with naked Drake May.
Tell Erica what naked Drake May means. For those of you who are, because I bet there's people out there that are like, what the hell did he just say? Naked Drake May? What?
Don't take me out of context. Naked Drake May is without any kind of receiver, running back, tight end. So basically, he is all by himself at quarterback without any stacking partners. You could kind of do that where with like running quarterbacks like Lamar, you can kind of do that with like Steph took Kendrick Bourne. Like that's totally defensible pick there. I guess I'll take the guy I take every time.
I've got a naked Chris Godwin over here.
No, I couldn't do it. I'll take Dylan Lowby.
Oh, there you go. That's a fun one.
I was going to take Deonta Foreman, then I realized I had Nick Chubb. So
there you go.
I didn't want to handcuff.
Yeah. Why don't you want to handcuff?
I don't believe in handcuffing. I don't believe in spending two roster spots on one job. I just don't see. I would rather have bullets to 17th, 18th round guys that can potentially win the job or be at least fantasy relevant, rather than taking Nick Chubb, but also having like the 2 weeks of Deonta Foreman before like he comes back. Like the whole handcuffing thing, I've never understood. I mean, I understand it, but it's just not, I don't like doing it. I don't, roster spots are the most valuable asset that you have here. So I don't want to devote 2 spots to the one starting Cleveland Browns running back.
Is there any situation that you would feel good about doing it in?
Running backs that have different roles, like just that comes to mind is like, the James White role or like the JD McKissick role, like that kind of saddle. And that's what Dylan Lobby can be. Like I would be totally fine taking Samir White and Lobby because Lobby, he's not going to be, running the ball 200 times. That's not what he does. But Samir White's probably going to be getting that. So you can take them and maybe kind of consolidate in that backfield. You can kind of do it too. It's a lot more difficult with like 2 backs that are kind of going the same ADP. Zeke and Rico, kind of same thing, because you got to figure Zeke is going to be, the goal line back or at least getting more of the touchdown equity there. Yeah, Najee and Warren, perfect. I mean, that also helps that the Steelers are going to be running with leather helmets too. That means they're going to be running the ball like 8,000 times this year. So.
Yeah. I think I'm all in on the Pittsburgh running game. That is all I want of that team, though. That's probably not going to be a fun season for the Steelers. Erica, tell me, what is your favorite pick from your team this week?
Ooh. Honestly, I like the Jared Goff pick. I got him pretty late.
Let's see.
And I paired him with David Montgomery, who likes to catch passes. So
Yes.
I'm liking that one.
So you got him around 11.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. How about you? What was your favorite pick?
I did like getting kind of Zay Flowers in the 4th, and I also like I still like Rashee Rice. I
Yeah.
just don't. I mean, he falls too far into drafts, even though everybody's scared about the suspension risk. But when has the NFL ever done the right thing with disciplining their players? So I don't feel like that's going to be starting anytime soon. So and then Trey Benson, my first share, but look, we talked about it last week, and I know Keith was has been on the bus and very adamant about James Conner being a cockroach, and I do agree with that to some extent.
Yeah.
But what if the wheels do fall off?
Yeah, I mean, it's not out of the question that something could happen. There. I really like Trey Benson. I've been taking him a lot of places. He was one of my favorite running backs coming out this year.
Yeah, and it's not like you have to pay a super exorbitant price either for him. Like I got him in the 9th round. Like a lot of the top running backs, outside of like obviously the Bijans from last year and stuff like that. But those running backs are typically going in like the 5th, 6th round in a lot of years. Like Trey Benson here is going in the 9th. I'm not sure if that has to do with the draft capital or if just people do not believe in the fact that James Conner could fall off, even though he is knocking on the door of 30.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that's baked into that. And at a 9th round price, I'm definitely willing to buy there versus having to spend a pick where I got CJ Stroud at the end of the 5th round.
Yeah, absolutely. I like my quarterbacks that I got here. I got Dak Prescott in the 8th, and then I got Brock Purdy down in the 10th. And I really like that a lot because I've got, CeeDee Lamb up here. I thought those were kind of fun picks there. So
fun was had by all, I would like to say.
Was had by all, guys. So this is, kind of like some of those first drafts that are really getting into that correlation, getting that week 17, those playoff weeks. So I think you're going to see that a lot more if you're doing more of these best ball, especially underdog, more tournaments like that. You're going to keep seeing these. So it is definitely worth your while to go grab yourself a sheet somewhere, put together something so you've got this kind of at your fingertips. There's a lot of great people out there that do those. So I'm sure you can find some all over the internet. Guys, thank you to everybody who's in the chat hanging out. Steph, thank you very much. Charlene. Charlene got him in the 10th in one. Yeah. So Gator, really everybody, Nate, coming in from your vacay. Thanks, guys. So we're going to be back at it next week. If you had a good time tonight, please remember, go hit that subscribe button so you know when we're drafting, get notifications of all of our amazing content here at Fantasy and Frames. You can give all of us a follow. You can follow at K Tompkins II. I got it right this week. Look at
there
that.
It is.
II. Eric is over at America with a K 108. I'm at Stacy_Perez 83. Like I said, guys, check us out. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a little bit of follow there, and we will be back drafting with you next week. Everybody, have a good night.